last part we understood when current carrying coil placed in uniform magnetic field, it experiences a torque. Current carrying coil placed in uniform magnetic field, it is experiences what a torque. So after that we understood what a current carrying coil is acts like what a magnetic dipole. Okay, we calculated what for revolving electron magnetic dipole moment also we calculated. Okay, so each and every part you should watch carefully. And this is the last okay part in moving charge and magnetism. Okay, last concept in moving charge and magnetism, that is a moving coil galvanometer. Okay, so we understood what so when current carrying conductor is placed in uniform magnetic field, or current carrying coil is placed in uniform magnetic field, it experiences a torque. Okay, based on this principle, this moving coil galvanometer works. Then what is the use of this moving coil galvanometer? Okay, in laboratory we can use this moving coil galvanometer. What is the use of this moving coil galvanometer? Okay, the moving coil galvanometer is highly sensitive instrument. It's a very sensitive instrument, but we can measure the sensitive currents also. Okay, the moving coil galvanometer is a highly sensitive instrument used to measure small currents of the order of 10 power minus 9 ampere. Okay, in the board exam they will ask by using moving coil galvanometer up to what we can measure the currents. Up to what smallest current we can measure, that is a 10 power minus 9 ampere. Okay, moving coil galvanometer is a highly sensitive instrument used to measure small currents of the order of 10 power minus 9 ampere. Then what is the principle of this moving coil galvanometer? What is the principle of this moving coil galvanometer? Based on which principle it is works? That is, when the current carrying coil is placed in uniform magnetic field, it experiences a torque. This already we understood in the last part. When the current carrying coil is placed in uniform magnetic field, it experiences a torque. Due to this torque, the coil gets deflected. Due to this water, so the coil gets deflected due to electric current flowing through the coil, so can be measured. When so current carrying coil is placed in uniform magnetic field, what happen? It experiences a torque. So due to the torque, what happen? So if torque is more, current flowing through the coil is more, then torque is more. Torque is more, deflection is more. Torque is more, deflection is more, then so current flowing through coil also more. Okay, by help of deflection, we can measure what whether current is how much current is flowing through the coil. Okay, so easily we can measure by using this moving coil galvanometer. Okay, what is the principle of moving coil galvanometer? So current carrying coil is placed in uniform magnetic field, it experiences torque. So due to the torque, what happen? So it is twisted, it gets deflected. So due to the deflection, what happen? How much current is flowing through the coil? Easily we can measure. So this is a working principle of moving coil galvanometer. Once again I am telling what is the working principle of moving coil galvanometer. When the current carrying coil is placed in uniform magnetic field, it experiences a torque. Due to this torque, the coil gets deflected due to electric current flowing through the coil can be so measured. Then what is the construction? This is a construction of what moving coil galvanometer. So what is the construction? Construction consists of what concave shaped poles of magnet. So why it is concave shaped poles of magnet? Okay, concave shaped poles magnet produce a radial magnetic field. That's why we are using what it consists of what concave shaped magnetic field. Concave shaped poles of magnet. Okay, concave shape nothing but it produces what a radial magnetic field means. So if it is not concave shape, uniform magnetic field is produced. Okay, na? So this magnetic field is does not act does not concentrate at center. So if you use radial magnetic field, what will happen? The complete magnetic field is concentrated on this coil. Means we indirectly what happen without changing the magnet, we are increasing the magnetic field. So radial magnetic field means effective. Okay, the radial magnetic field should be completely it should be concentrated on this coil, and it consists one torsion head. Through this what happen? This torsion head, that wire is suspended here. Okay, wire is attached to the torsion head. This wire is what made with the Pasper branch. Pasper branch has high Young's modulus and low rigidity modulus. Then what happen? There is a low extension will takes place. Understand? So high Young's modulus and low rigidity modulus it is there. Then so low extension, there is no extension in the wire. Okay, if any extension is there, nothing but due to this coil what happen? So some extension will takes place. That time we cannot measure the current deflection. Okay, after that mirror is there. Okay, by using lamp and mirror arrangement, we can measure the deflection, how it is deflected, how much deflection takes place. Okay, it is a mirror. Understand? They'll put a lamp and opposite that they'll put a scale also or a point also. They'll put here the point mirror. Okay, by using lamp and mirror arrangement, when a needle gets deflected like this, okay, by help of the deflection, they can measure the water how much current can be flowing in the circuit. And this one more end of this mirror, okay, through a wire. So one cylindrical shape of the coil. Cylindrical coil is suspended in the this okay radial magnetic field, and this another end is connected to the Pasper branch spring. Okay, this why it is Pasper branch, why this spring is made with Pasper branch. So if it is get twisted, it cannot break, and it is not extend also. That is the reason. Okay, we are using Pasper branch. Pasper branch is a metal. Okay, it has a low high Young's modulus and a low rigidity modulus. Okay, another end is connected to the another torsion head, then it is completely fixed. Now current is entering here, current is leaving here. Okay, these two ends we connected to current. These two ends connected in the circuit, nothing but current is flowing in the this cylindrical magnet takes place. This is a construction of a Mohican galvanometer. Consists north and south pole of concave shaped balls of the magnet, and one torsion head T1, Pasper branch wire, and lamp and mirror arrangement, and cylindrical shape of the coil, and this is another end connected to water. One Pasper branch Pasper branch spring here, then another end immediately connected to water screw. Okay, so one another torsion head it is connected. This is a construction of water Mohican galvanometer. Okay, then working principle already we understood. When a current carrying coil, this current, okay, next we are going to understand working. Current carrying coil is placed in uniform magnetic field or radial magnetic field. Okay, so if it is placed, the current carrying coil, plane of the coil is placed parallel to the magnetic field. Okay, it develops what maximum torque that we understood in last class. Current carrying coil, plane of the coil is placed parallel to the magnetic field means aerial vector of the coil is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Okay, suppose this is a magnetic field, the aerial vector, okay, if it is the plane of the coil is parallel to the magnetic field means what happens? The aerial vector of the coil is perpendicular to the magnetic field. In that case, what happens? It experiences a maximum torque. Angle between the M and B is 90 means what will happen? There is the maximum torque is takes place. Tau is equal to what? NIAB sin theta. Okay, already we derived the expression, right? So what is the current carrying coil is placed in uniform magnetic field. So what is the torque experienced in a coil? Okay, torque experienced by the coil is what? NIAB sin theta. Okay, when I current is flowing through this coil, it is suspended in the radial magnetic field. Then what happen? It get twisted. Okay, it gets twisted. Okay, in this torque will be experienced. The torque is equal to what? BIAN sin 90. So theta is equal to 90. Okay, you should see that what the coil is placed, the cylindrical coil is placed parallel to the magnetic field. Then only what happen? Okay, there is a maximum torque is experienced. Okay, then when any suppose any wire, if it is get twisted, so what will happen? If your wire get twisted, okay, like this, due to the torque, that wire is get twisted like this. So in this case, what happened here in this wire? There is some restoring torque is developed. If you release the wire, what happened? So due to that restoring torque, again it is coming to the original position, right? So when it is the wire is due to the torque, suppose the cylindrical coil is like this. Okay, when you release your torque, so again it comes to the same position. Okay, now this is called as what? In this restoring torque is developed. Due to the torque, what happened? There is a restoring torque is developed. Okay, what is the restoring torque? Restoring torque is what? C into theta. Restoring torque is what? C into theta. C is what? Couple per unit twist. Couple per unit twist. Okay, couple per unit twist. Okay, per unit twist. Okay, per unit twist. Okay, so complete like this is a unit twist. Per unit twist, how much couple is takes place? The couple per unit twist. Couple per unit twist. Okay, into deflection. Couple per unit twist into deflection. Okay, the deflection cancel means you get what? Again, that is torque. Couple is nothing but a torque, turning effect. Okay, so due to the torque, what happens? There is a restoring torque is developed, that is C into theta. Under equilibrium condition, okay, under equilibrium condition, in between the poles, what will happen? This is called as deflecting torque. This is called as what? Deflecting torque. This is called as a restoring torque. Under equilibrium condition, okay, the restoring torque is equal to the deflecting torque is equal to restoring torque. Under equilibrium condition, what happens? Deflecting torque is equal to restoring torque. Deflecting torque is tau. Restoring torque is what? C into theta. Okay. Then what is the tau here? Tau is a BIAN. Okay, so that is called as deflecting torque. Then restoring torque C into theta. Okay, from this I is equal, what is to write? C by BAN into theta. Okay, so C is what? A couple per unit test for given arrangement, a given cylindrical wire, that is constant. Couple per unit test is constant. Okay, so B is what? A magnetic field in this okay, magnetic field, and A is what? Area of the coil, area of cross section of the coil. N is number of turns in the coil. Theta is a okay, deflection takes place in the coil. That deflection can be measured by using lamp and scalar arrangement. Okay, now so I is equal to, we should write I is equal to what? This C by BAN we can call this K. Completely it is constant. Constant for given galvanometer. Constant for given galvanometer constant. It's also called as what? Galvanometer constant. C by BAN. Also we can call figure of minute of galvanometer. Okay, I is equal to K into theta. Then I is proportional to what? Theta. K is what? A constant of given galvanometer. Then I is proportional to theta. Okay, deflection more, then more current is flowing through the coil. Deflection is less, okay, less current is flowing through the coil. Okay, by using this one we can measure the water. By help of this deflection we can understand what current flowing through the coil. If you substitute the deflection here, then how much current is flowing through the coil easily we can write. C we know, C we know, B also we know, A also we know, number of turns we know. Okay, theta, right? So we can find out by help of this experiment. Then substitute here. Then I is equal to C by BAN into theta. Then easily we can measure what current flowing through the okay coil. Then so I is equal to K theta, I is proportional to theta. So this is called as what? A moving coil galvanometer. So very easy and very important. It is used in the laboratory. By using this one we can measure what? So whether in the circuit current is flowing or not, whether even small currents also we can measure. Okay, small currents in the circuit, small currents are okay, so flowing or not, easily we can test by using this moving galvanometer. Okay, so it is what? A moving coil. In this name only there. So what is the use of galvanometer? We can detect the flow of current in the circuit, which direction current is flowing. Moving coil galvanometer means moving type coil it is. Okay, this coil is what happened? Moving. How it is moving? Why it is moving? Nothing but when a current is flowing through a coil, what happened? So when a current is when current flowing through coil is placed in uniform magnetic field, what will happen? A radial magnetic field, what will happen? It experiences a torque. Okay, means it is moving. Okay, at particular angle, what will happen? At particular okay instant, what will happen? That up to what instant will be okay twisted? That underget equilibrium position. That is what restoring torque is called. Deflecting torque. Deflecting torque is called what? Restoring torque. Okay, till get equilibrium, it get twisted. The wire get twisted, right? So that coil get twisted. Till what time? The deflecting torque is equal to restoring torque. Okay, the deflecting torque is what? BIAN. Restoring torque is what? C theta. This is keep in our mind. Okay, so this torque already we understood. This restoring torque coupled per unit test into deflection. Then BIAN is equal to C into theta. I is equal to C by BAN into theta. This is very very important. This C by BAN is called as what? Figure of minute of galvanometer, constant for given galvanometer. Then I is equal to what? The C by BN is called as K. It's a constant for given galvanometer. Then from this I is proportional to theta. Deflection is more, current flowing through coil also more. Okay, so this is a way to produce a radial magnetic field to increase the effect of magnetic field on the this cylindrical coil. Okay, I hope you understood. So very very important is moving coil galvanometer. Correct? Okay, so what is the current? Current is equal to C by BAN into theta. What is the I? Current flowing through the cylindrical coil, and C is what? Couple per unit distance, and B is what? Magnetic field induction. A is what? Area of the coil. N is number of turns. Theta is what? Deflection. Next, current sensitivity. What is meant by current sensitivity? Deflection per current. Current sensitivity means what? Deflection per current is called as current sensitivity. That is equal to BAN by C. B is magnetic field, A is area, N is number of turns, C is a couple per unit distance. Okay, so this is called as what? Current sensitivity. This current sensitivity depends upon what factors? Magnetic field, area of the coil, number of turns. If you increase the magnetic field, current sensitivity is increases. Okay, so with less current also we can measure. Minimum, okay, max up to 10 power minus 9 ampere current we can measure by help of this moving coil galvanometer. Okay, area of the coil increases, then current sensitivity increases. Number of coils increases, current sensitivity increases. Okay, when couple per unit test of the this cylindrical coil, okay, so increases, then current sensitivity decreases. Current sensitivity is inversely proportional to the couple per unit test. That's why we can take a couple per unit test is what? Okay, less. If couple per unit test is less, then so we can take what? Couple per unit test is less, then small current is can be flowing through the coil means it gets twisted. Okay, couple per unit test is less means current sensitivity is more. Okay, here current sensitivity is what? current sensitivity is proportional to B and proportional to A, proportional to L. And current sensitivity is inversely proportional to what? Couple per unit test. Couple per unit test. Voltage sensitivity nothing but so deflection by voltage is called as voltage sensitivity. So that is what. So I is nothing but from Ohm's law V by R we can write. V by R. R goes to numerator. If you bring this side, what you get? BAN by CR. So voltage, okay, deflection by voltage is called as voltage sensitivity. That is BAN by CR. If you increase the area and number of turns, what will happen? Okay, if you increase the area, okay, so the resistance also changes. Okay, so in that case, the may not that voltage sensitivity may not changes when you increase the area or number of turns, right? So with respect to this, the resistance also okay changes. Okay, then ratio maintains constant. In that case, voltage sensitivity depends upon which one? Magnetic field and couple per unit test. If more magnetic field is there, okay, more voltage sensitivity, and so couple per unit test is less means more voltage sensitivity. So this is what in case of Moenkel galvanometer, current sensitivity and voltage sensitivity, these are very important terms. The current sensitivity measured in what? Deflection per ampere. Voltage sensitivity measured in what? Deflection per volt. Current sensitivity measured in what? Deflection per ampere. Voltage sensitivity measured in what? Deflection per volt. Okay, so what is the use of this Moenkel galvanometer? By using Moenkel galvanometer, we can measure the currents, small currents up to what? 10 power minus 9 ampere or microampere currents also we can measure in the circuit. Okay, and okay, in laboratory we can see ammeter and voltmeter, correct? So what is the use of ammeter? By using ammeter, we can measure the current in the circuit. Ammeter is always connected series in the circuit. Okay, and we can see the voltmeter also. What is the voltmeter? By using voltmeter, we can measure the potential difference across the resistor. This voltmeter is always connected parallel to the resistor. Okay, in this case, right, if the ammeter has more resistance, if ammeter has more resistance, what will happen? It is okay, in this some current can be dragged. Okay, then we cannot measure the current in the circuit. Okay, through ammeter, if any ammeter has okay more resistance means okay, resistance is more in the circuit, current can be less. Okay, we are going to measure the current in the circuit. If ammeter has resistance, what will happen? We cannot measure exact current in the circuit. For that purpose, moving coil galvanometer if convert into ammeter, then we can measure the currents. Okay, what is it? Approximately, you can measure the exact currents. Understand? Okay, so how to convert this MCG into ammeter? How to convert moving coil galvanometer into ammeter? Conversion of moving coil galvanometer into ammeter. Why we are converting? To decrease the resistance, to measure the small current also. Understand? If the ammeter has resistance, it does drag some current. To avoid that one, understand? To avoid that one, so to measure complete current in the circuit, now MCG converted into ammeter. Right? Inside the ammeter, what happen? There is already we understood a complete galvanometer. Okay, this is a moving type galvanometer. This moving galvanometer has some resistance, what? RG. Okay, to this one, we want to decrease the resistance. So when we can decrease the resistance, resistors are in series means if 1 ohm, 2 ohm, these two resistors are connected in series. What is the equal resistance? 3 ohm. If the same resistors are connected in parallel, what is the effective resistance? Okay, 1 into 2 by 1 plus 2, 2 by 3. And 0.6, it's less than smaller resistance. Okay, nothing but if the resistors are connected in parallel, the resistance is going to be decreases. The resistors are in a series, the more resistance will take place. Okay, so from that condition, then we are taking small resistance, very small resistance. Why? Because it won't draw any current here. Okay, won't drop any current and won't the complete current can be flow through the ammeter. When it is possible, it has zero resistance. In case of ideal ammeter, what is the resistance of ideal ammeter? 0. Okay, then you can measure the complete current. Actually, practically it is not possible. Each and every wire it has some resistance. Okay, so ideal case what happen? Imaginary case what happen? Ideal ammeter has a 0 resistance. Okay, now so how much it is possible? You can decrease the resistance. For that what happen? Small resistance, very small resistance you take. That RS is a very small resistance, which is connected parallel to the galvanometer resistance. Which is what is placed parallel to the, which is connected parallel to the moving coil galvanometer. Moving coil galvanometer has some resistance, correct? Na? If you place in the circuit means what happen? Exactly we cannot measure the complete current in the circuit. Why? Because it has some resistance, correct? Na? We want to decrease this resistance means you can connect very small resistance which is connected parallel to the resistance of galvanometer. Okay, then what will happen? So resistance, effective resistance, what will happen? Rg into Rs by Rg plus Rs. When the resistors are connected in parallel, what is the equivalent resistance? R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. What is R1 here? Rg. R2 is what? Rs. Okay, Rg into Rs by Rg plus Rs. Okay, now this complete setup is called as, okay, when very small resistance which is connected parallel to the galvanometer resistance is called as what? This is called as a moving galvanometer connected to ammeter. Okay, so this ammeter connected in the circuit means we can measure the, okay, so small currents also, and we can measure exact currents also in the circuit, right? So you see a small resistance Rs called shunt resistance is connected in parallel with the galvanometer called G, so that the most of the current passes through the shunt resistance. Okay, so most of the current is passes through the shunt resistance. Nothing but through this very less amount of current, negligible amount of current, more amount of current can be flow here, and that will be, okay. So enter through this. Suppose Ig is like 10 power minus 9 ampere. Suppose I is what, like 10 ampere. So 10 power minus 9, very, okay, negligible current it is. Okay, the maximum current can be flow through this shunt resistance. Why? Because it has a small resistance, very small resistance. Then so the complete current is flowing in the circuit. By help of deflection, we can measure that how much amount of current is flowing in the circuit by help of ammeter. Okay, what is the use of ammeter? By using ammeter, we can measure the current in the circuit. That is a ammeter. Okay, this is a ammeter. Now, what is the total current in the circuit? Ig plus Is. Okay, total current is what? Divided Ig and Is, Ig plus Is. And this Rg and Rs. Okay, resistance of galvanometer, resistance of shunt, how they connected parallel. When the resistors are connected in parallel, so which one is constant? Potential difference across the, okay, resistors are same. Potential difference across Rg, potential difference across Rs same. That is Ig into Rg is equal to what? Is into Rs. Potential difference is nothing but IR. Ig into Rg is equal to Is into Rs. Then Ig into Rg is equal to what? What is Is here? Okay, Is nothing but from Kirchhoff first law, I is equal to Ig plus Is. Okay, from this, Is is equal to what? I minus Ig. Is is equal to what? I minus Ig. That I substituted here. Ig into Rg is equal to I minus Ig into Rs. Then how much shunt resistance is required to measure this much amount of current in the circuit? Okay, how much shunt resistance is required? Ig into G by I minus Ig. Okay, so in a practical, how much amount of current is measured in the circuit? If you know that one, okay, for that how much shunt resistance is required? Okay, Ig we know that is a old current only, into G, resistance of galvanometer. Rg you can write here. So Ig into Rg, Ig into Rg, Ig into Rg by I minus Ig. Ig is a current flowing through galvanometer. Rg is a resistance of galvanometer. By I is a current flowing in the circuit. Ig is what? Okay, current flowing through galvanometer. Or else we can write what? Shunt resistance is equal to, okay, Rg. Rg by Ig is sent to denominator. Rg by, okay, Rg is the resistance of galvanometer. Rg by, if you Ig send denominator, I by Ig minus 1 you will get. This I by Ig is nothing but N here. Okay, so nothing but a new current by old current gives that N. New current by old current gives what? N. Then Rg by N minus 1. So R is equal to what here? Effective resistance. Effective resistance of ammeter is what? Rg into Rs by Rg plus Rs, which is very smaller than, okay, this shunt resistance. Okay, means resistance of ammeter is okay, so decreases when moving galvanometer converted to ammeter. Okay, for normal ammeters what happened? It has more resistance, right? That's why moving galvanometer converted to ammeter nothing but it has what? Less resistance. Okay, very small resistance which is connected parallel to the galvanometer resistance. Then moving galvanometer into converted into ammeter. Very easy and important. This formula is most important. So shunt resistance, how much shunt resistance is required to measure this much amount of current? Rs is equal to Ig into Rg by I minus Ig. Ig is current flowing through galvanometer. Rg is resistance of galvanometer. Okay, so then I is what? Current flowing in the circuit. Next what? So MCG into voltmeter. In the circuit, how to measure the potential difference across a resistor? Okay, by using voltmeter. By using voltmeter, we can measure potential difference across a resistor. Okay, how this voltmeter connected? Parallel to the resistor. How this voltmeter connected? Parallel to the resistor. Okay, when voltmeter is connected parallel to the resistor, it has okay, less resistance which would happen. It is drags certain amount of current. Then exactly we cannot measure the potential difference across the resistor. That is the reason if you increase the voltmeter, okay, resistance, okay, the current can be less amount of current can be flow through this, more amount of current can be flow through this R resistance. Okay, that is the reason we are increasing the voltmeter resistance. How? By using moving coil galvanometer. Okay, so this is a moving coil galvanometer. R is the resistance of moving coil galvanometer. To this one, high resistance. R is a high resistance which is connected series to the galvanometer. High resistance which is connected series to the galvanometer. Then, so moving coil galvanometer connected to what? Voltmeter. Okay, so this voltmeter is connected parallel to the resistor, means it can be measured what potential difference across the resistor. Okay, why we are increasing the resistance here? If you not increase the resistance, it can be through which some amount of current can be flow. Then so we cannot get the potential difference across resistor. That is the reason. So we are increasing the this moving coil galvanometer resistance. High resistance which is connected series to the galvanometer. Then so resistance is going to be increases. Okay, so current flowing through this is how much? This very small amount of current, Ig amount of current can be flow. Maximum amount of current can be flow. This one. Then what is the potential difference here? I into R will takes place. Approximately I into R will takes place. Okay, if you take ideal voltmeter resistance how much? Infinity. Ideal ammeter resistance how much? 0. But ideal resistance of voltmeter is what? Infinity. Why infinity? Why here voltmeter resistance is more? Okay, nothing but so you won't be drawing any current. Okay, so small Ig is nothing but 10 power minus 9 ampere or minus 6 ampere. Very small current. Okay, nothing will happen here. So but this if you are having more resistance also, nothing will happen. It's very small amount of current. The more amount of current can be flow to this one, means okay, I into R won't be changed. Approximately we can get the okay potential difference is I into R. Okay, so resistance of ideal voltmeter is what? Infinity. Now, so we are going to understand how much series resistance connected to the galvanometer means. Okay, then we can measure the V potential difference. Okay, what is that? Potential difference across this galvanometer is what? Right, Ig into G plus Ig into R. So how much current is flowing through this galvanometer? Ig current can be flowing through galvanometer. Okay, when the resistors are connected in series, right, which one is constant? Current flowing through galvanometer is constant. When so current flowing when right? So what is that? This resistors are connected in series, right? Which one is constant? Current flowing through resistors is constant. The resistors are connected in parallel, which one is constant? Okay, potential difference across the resistors are same. Here, these resistors are okay connected in series, current flowing through okay galvanometer resistance and high resistance, that is same. Then what is the potential difference across this Rg and R? That is Ig into right Rg plus Ig into R. So we can take a common Ig here, so Rg plus R. Then Ig bring this side, V by Ig is equal to what? V by Ig is equal to Rg plus R. We want which one here? How much series resistance? R is a series resistance here. R is equal to V by Ig minus Rg. R is series resistance equal to V by Ig minus Rg. This is the most important expression. By help of this expression, we are going to calculate which one? Okay, this much resistance, this much series resistance is required to measure this much voltage range in the okay circuit. Okay, where R is a series resistance, this much series resistance required. V is this much voltage we want to measure. Okay, and Ig is the current flowing through galvanometer. Rg is a resistance of the galvanometer. Then what is the effective resistance of this voltmeter? Rg plus R. Effective resistance of voltmeter is what? This Rg and R, how they are connected? Series. What is the effective resistance of this voltmeter? Rg plus R.